Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Banter Blitz, or yet another episode of Banter Blitz with me. I'm Jan Gustafsson. I have two tough acts to follow here, Shachmamedyarov and Nihal Sarin, and just finish their shows, and I do not think that I can match the chess level or the excitement in those shows. So, basically, you've missed the fun part. Go to bed. If you're on YouTube, rewatch the Nihal show. He does deserve more viewers. He's so good at chess. Having said all these things, I am delighted to be back here. See, I'm struggling a bit to speak English. I've been mainly doing German stuff recently, and I'm sure you know the phenomenon, unless you're American, in which case you only speak English. But I'm sure the rest of you know the phenomenon that if you don't use your second language for a while, that it sort of disappears, and you need a while to get back into the hang of it. So bear with me while we are getting together here and playing some lovely Blitz games, because this is, of course, Banter Blitz, the show where you, Chess24 Premium users, can challenge me to a 3 or 5 minute Blitz game. And we shall talk about that game and anything else that you want to talk about. Because, you know, at Chess24 we say, the premium customer is king. Or maybe we say he gets a king in the games. Anyway, you get the idea, and let us get started with some action. Of course, if you're not a premium member yet, you can become one. Do it right now. Voucher code Janistan saves you 15%. Then you can challenge me. My username is Jan, Jan. And as usual, we do not discriminate by rating on these shows. If there's anything going on here, it's reverse rating, shaming, because I like my low ratings. Let's face it, it's more educational. My chances of winning go up. What is not to like? Yusuf 4646. Are you there? If you are, just make a move. Then I'll make a move. Then you make a move again. It's unlike dating, this chess, where often you just sit there and wait for a move, but then you don't make a move back. Does that work? Not sure. Anyway, I don't see a move. I can't spend all my life waiting for a move that may never come. I have to move on. Sorry, Yusuf 4646. Let's do this another time. And in the meantime, play against Talai number 20, if he's there. If no one's here, we can also just chat. I don't mind having a nice little chat about the state of the world, like US elections, the pandemic. There's plenty topics that we can debate. Like, are the restrictions too severe? What about the arts? Are people not taking it seriously enough? So many questions. Bishop d3. a6 is not a great move. It's something I do once in a while, hoping for knight f3, when after bishop g4, black is kind of worse, but it's playable. Well, bishop d3 looks like a principal move, and wow, pre-move, knight takes e4. Having played all this nonsense, I feel that I am committed to grabbing this pawn, but it's a very, very hot pawn, and I do not think this is a sound opening for black. So do not try this at home or anywhere. I guess you are at home, so just don't try this. Here we are. Rook e1 check. I have to put my bishop in the way, and he wants to stop me from castling, which is a very understandable goal. sort of at odds with my goals, which are to castle. So, sorry, sir, we have to agree to disagree on that topic. My position is still unpleasant. Bishop f4, castles, rook d1, and there are still many issues that I'm not quite sure how to deal with, but I also do not really see an alternative. So here we go. This guy is good, by the way, which I might not have seen coming with the rating. He's also playing extremely fast, so bottom line, I'm in trouble. Knight d7, knight d4, and my position is not really getting any better. Here we go. Doesn't look like he's in the mood to do anything wrong either, which will not make my life any easier. Knight c5, b4, or knight e6 is also strong. Nah, it's basically a lost position. Pretty lost. Oof. I don't even see any hope, to be honest with you. Any move looks winning. Queen h3, queen f5, bishop anywhere. It's just not very good. I gotta stop the mate. So a discovered bishop attack is not exactly the worst thing that could happen to me. And queen f5 at least makes me believe I'm in with a shot, because until now I thought I was just getting completely smashed off the board. But queen f5 does not look like the most severe punishment. So maybe there is a little hope. How though? How exactly? The problem, rook e3 is also a good move. Now the position remains fairly hopeless. Okay, I gotta make moves. I don't see any sensible move, to be frank with you. At least I have time. So it's not all bad. Okay, it's all bad. This is not the easing in that I was hoping for. Gotta speed up a little, no choice. Don't take my queen, sir. Okay, it's a trap, I lied. Please take my queen, sir. He doesn't take. That's brazen. You want to get into a flagging competition with me? Up. Can't do that. But well played by Talai20. Completely crushed me out of the opening. When, yeah, I had pretty much given up hope somewhere around here, and I think it's because the position is dead lost. After knight e6, fe, queen e6, king h8, there must be many very direct ways to roam. I don't know, bishop h7. Or just bishop anywhere, really. Bishop c4, bishop f5, bishop f1, This pin will crush me if nothing else. But yeah, what can I say? Good game. I'm glad I won. Those are my honest feelings. Eshekimat is asking about bishop takes d6 and bishop takes g6. That did not work. I had a cunning plan, which I forgot by now. Probably knight takes g6. I think that was my cunning plan. You see? And if rook takes d6, rook e1 checkmate. So, no need for the double question mark, sir. And let us maybe play another game. So, what have you guys been up to? Guys and girls, I should say. While I was busy trying to become a German influencer. Not successfully so far, has to be said. But I shall continue trying. What has happened in the world out there? MagnusisaCasparov wannabe is this guy's username. Yeah, I'm sure there are many Kasparov wannabes out there. Magnus probably one of the better ones, no? I guess he chose that name in order to get noticed by Magnus in the Banter Blitz. And it might work, The Nimzo Indian. Let's bring the horsey out. In d5 now we've transposed to the Ragozin, the wonderful world of chess openings. An opening can just start as a Nimzo, then become a Ragozin, and then retire as a butterfly. Let's see what MagnusisaCasparov wannabe has up his sleeve here. Currently the theory says that h6 followed by bishop f5. It's a pretty good system. Bishop g4, can't say I'm too familiar with, but it does not look insane. I'll try to counter it with direct measures, like queen to b3, attacking b7 and d5. Eloquent is saying, by the way, any plans when Magnus's next banter will take place? I do not know. It's not in my hands, but I'm sure if you voice that complaint in enough shows that it will be heard. I'll try to put in a good word for another Magnus banter. I wouldn't mind one. Bishop h5. Let me put the pawn here. Batman 2017 is saying, can Magnus stay on top for 15 till 20 years like Kasparov? Probably yes. Yeah, how many does he have? 10? He's only 30. So it's possible. But of course, the competition never sleeps. Unless when they're sleeping. But you get the idea. So who knows? Firebolt 8XP is saying, hey Twitch chat, do the hosts read us? I don't know who the hosts are. I always read you. Dear Twitch chat, what would I do without you? How are things in Twitch done? I could have taken on d7, followed by bishop f6, breaking his pawn structure, but I chose not to because I want MagnusisaCasparov wannabe to have to face tough decisions all by himself without any help. And I figured that he might make mistakes if there are so many options. Like here, rook e8 loses sight of the f7 pawn. And it's going down. Now I'm an exchange and a pawn up, which pretty much goes to show what a great chess champion I am. And I like my chances here against MagnusisaCasparov wannabe. It's a long username, but easy to recall. Jack Rabbit is saying, for the next big tournament hosted on Chess24, please let Judith and Vlad commentate. Great synergy. Yeah, I'm sure we'd love to have them for every single tournament. Not sure that's how it's going to play out. But I didn't watch the show, but I did hear great things. Not too surprisingly, if you get two legends like that. So, anything else we want to talk about? Get Magnus to do more Banter Blitz. Get Kramnik and Polgar to do commentary. Yeah, I missed you guys too. Queen f4. Let's go here. That will bring us closer. Magnus is a Kasparov wannabe. He's running out of time here. Hoppers 1981 is saying 18 places to be revealed on the top 50 and no world champions yet. Who do you people think the other two spots go to? I'm going for Philidor and Morphy. I am not at liberty to reveal any of that. Let's play more games. Exinvoker from Pakistan. Wow. I'm not sure I ever played anybody from Pakistan here. I probably did, but I can't recall it. Pawn to e4. Pawn to e5. Let's play it safe. Wow, so aggressive. The King's Gambit. Knight f6 is what I gave in my chessable. Of course, I believe that h6, d6, g5, all these things are good too. But knight f6, we don't need to weaken our king side in order to get a good position. So I think this might be the easiest course of action. Kremenson is asking, do you like fish stick? I think I do. Knight c3, I should go d5, right? B-Rod is saying, Jan, why are you limiting yourself with being a German influencer when you are already on your way to being a global influencer? I don't know. It's not all in my control. But you know, sometimes in these stressful times of ours, we need to think locally with where we purchase our meat, if we eat meat, and where we want to become a sneaker influencer. I think, the trend is going away from globalization, back to localization. And if you don't go with the trends, then you have to go like the trend. That makes sense. I miss the trend. What do you do here? Bishop e7, g6, h6. Bishop e7 looks good. Knight c6. So many options. I'll go here. Kremenson, it's a pity you had to correct that, no? Maybe you didn't have to. It's a weird thing trying to get me to say fish sticks. No, I can just say it. You don't even have to, set an elaborate trap. Does that humor you if people say fish dicks? Because it sounds like the penises of fish? I don't know. It's not my type of humor, but I could see that would, tickle you. BTM98 is saying, been a while since I caught one of your Banter Blitzes. Yeah, I've been mainly Germaning it up, but I'm glad to be here, speaking the common tongue, seeing moves like Rook H2. What's not to like? Rook H2, what to do? Bishop G4 looks natural. Bishop E2. Okay, we'll worry about it when we get there. Bishop B5. I guess I'll just castle. Could look at more brutal solutions like Bishop H4 or Bishop F3 followed by Bishop H4. But I've got all the time in the world. TM Lane is asking, how has family life during COVID been? Overall, fine. Family is fine. My kids are fine. My daughter is back in kindergarten. Other kid is still too small for any gardens. So overall, it's fine. I'm not sure if it's fine for my mental health, and you could make a case that that's never been in great shape. I'm not going to argue. But basically, just being stuck in one place, it's always been tough for me in fall, winter anyway, and usually that's why I like to try to find some time to go somewhere warmer. And I haven't really been anywhere the last 6 months, with the exception of 5 days in Karlsruhe, where they played the Schach-Bundesliga finale. And I think we had one family trip to Norway, but I was only there for a weekend. So I have really not gotten out of the house much, even for my standards. And I'm not sure, but I am worried, all nonsense about my personal stuff aside, about the long-term health effects of this stuff on people. Not that you can do anything about it, but I can feel it. It's not going well for me. Bishop takes F4. Take here. Knight takes D5. And I should say, with all the COVID whining, that it's not really the time to complain. Because it really hasn't affected me much, whatever. Financially, I got to keep doing this job, if you want to call it a job, of sitting here, mainly in my basement, talking nonsense, or even, management-wise with getting stuff for the family organized. So there wasn't really any hardship. It's more, wondering about the long-term implications of people sitting at home. But personally, I'm not in a position to whine about it, because chess and doing online chess commentary is not the worst activity, obviously, during COVID. As for the game, I'm doing well, but Exinvoker has played pretty well, and at some point I will have to speed up a little bit. Maybe the time is now. He's trying to get his rooks to the H-file. Nope. Should have gotten his rooks to the H-file, because now it's too late. Once again, time to speed up a bit, but I should have enough time to bring this to its rightful conclusion. Steady. And Exinvoker resigns. But he put up a great fight, especially after that very serious mistake he made on move 2, where he gave me a pawn that was covering his king for free. But after that, great game by Exinvoker. Thanks for playing. And 10 Mil is asking, where would you travel if you could? Obviously, my favorite country in the world is Thailand, which has been shut down for tourists for a long time now, and I don't think that will change anytime soon. Basically anywhere warm though. Like, I'm tempted. I think my friend Paco Vallejo is in Costa Rica, and I'm not even sure if it's impossible to go there right now, but some place like that where I've never been, Costa Rica, would be highly tempting. I talked about that the other time, but it's a bit of an asshole move. I have family. I have 2 little kids here, and I don't think it's the right time to go on a family trip to Costa Rica, to leave them alone here. I don't know. It's gonna be tough, but I do miss going anywhere. And sunshine. The problem is it's October, so it's not like you hang in there for 2 weeks and sunshine is coming back. Maybe next March, but it's gonna be a while. Milad is asking, who are a commentator during SCC event? I do not know what SCC is, sorry. GM Aryan is saying, I drew with Nihal today. Wow, congrats GM Aryan. Thanks to Chess24 and you, I get to play all top players, including Magnus, Ding, Wesley, Dubov, Grishuk and others. You mentioned that maybe in the German show. Yeah. He does say, I said that in German stream, but saying again, thanks a lot. Hopefully he will read this. Yeah, congrats on the draw, GM Aryan. I'm glad you like it. There you see it, people. As a premium member, he played Magnus Carlsen, Ding, Liren, Wesley So, Daniel Dubov, Alexander Grishuk. Name another sports where you can do that for whatever it costs here. Okay, I need to make the going even tougher for me and play against oscarshales. Oscarshales? What can I do? I'm such a boring guy. d4, c4. This is pretty much where I feel comfortable. And we've had this before. No, Oscar? I have a feeling we've had this before. That you're using the good old Vienna against me. I'm not in the mood for a mainline debate with pawn to e4. Maybe I wasn't in the mood last time either. Queen a4 is one of these sidelines. That's not particularly good. But if you don't feel like playing e4, I think it has a little more sting than e3, which is the other main line. c6, b5 is probably the most principled way to go for black here. Then queen d3 or queen b3. Who knows? Citymania saying, didn't GM Aryan just play Norway chess? I don't think GM Aryan is Aryan Tari. He doesn't have a GM or a real GM next to his username, so it's not Tari. It's just his Chess24 username. b5 played, queen d3, a6. What are the options here? Bishop g5 or e4, I believe, are the main move. Bishop g5, the main moves. c5, I think was sort of okay for black, but what can you do? Wow, big theoretician, Oscar. Jack Rabbit is asking, ever been to the States? Or are you going anytime soon? I've been to the States a lot, but not recently. When I was a young man, I spent a lot of time in New York City. But recently I went to LA in, I think, 2016, and I haven't been since. So it's been a while. I do love the United States, but currently it's probably not. I'm not even sure if it's possible to go. Even if it was, it's probably not the greatest time to go, no? Flinsbach is saying Grim Reaper equals Zensenmann. That is correct. Knight c5, what's going on here? Complex position. He probably wants to go b4. Do I want to allow that? Not really, right? I could have gone to e3 directly. Maybe that was better, but I didn't want to get hit by the bishop coming to c5, so I'll go to e3 now. Sort of anticipating b4, followed by knight takes e4. I don't think e takes d5 is a big deal. So, we'll see how it goes. Shifra saying, LOL, is there some global event currently inhibiting you from traveling to the USA? I don't know if you watched the news recently, Shifra, but as far as I know, the Comedy Store is still closed in Los Angeles, and I would consider that a global event inhibiting me from traveling to the USA. Moxie Bogue saying, it's been a while since I heard Jan speak English. Sounds pretty unfamiliar. Tell me about it. It's weird. It used to be weird for me to speak German on camera. Now we flipped it. Flipped it for real. How do I win here? D-E-F-E. Let me just castle and see what he does. I don't want to have to think. You think, Oscar. Michal Palitska is asking, what do you think about special Banter Blitz shows against premium members in handicap games? The matches will be more equal and interesting. Who wants that? No, but seriously, I'm not opposed to the idea. We have so many different Banter Blitzers going on now. I guess it's maybe a question of practicality. People need to figure out how to challenge for these handicap situations. But yeah, I think it could be fun. Let's do it. Ostanovevo is saying, I've started streaming recently. Can I stream playing on Chess24? Yeah, of course you can. I'm not sure why that wouldn't be possible. All right, the position is sort of unclear. With hindsight, and you know they say hindsight is 20/20, so I'm no longer that sure if this hindsight really is such a great thing. It's not a bad joke. I should tweet that. Probably someone thought of that, right? 2020 jokes probably people thought of. Anyway, with hindsight, I should not have allowed him to castle queenside, so I think after queen b6 I should just have played d takes e6, kept the king in the middle, but I did not. So we have to live with the situation on the board. Try to open up the queen side a little bit because the king is now there. This b4, a4. It's a pretty typical way to do that. Not sure why I went knight d7 and not knight d3, which looked somewhat more active to me. Ostanovevo means I have to take permissions, and can I use Banter Blitz with Ostanovevo? And that all sounds fine. If you have any doubts, I have no idea. But in general, I don't see why it wouldn't be. Cool with Chess24. If you have any doubts, check with support@chess24.com. They can tell you. But you have my blessing. E5. Knight f5, queen e3, I have knight e7, so knight f5. He will play bishop b4, which is not so bad. Who would have thought? Knight c6, bishop c6, DC. Maybe that's better. You can see deep grandmasterly calculations. Knight f5, not so happy. Let's try some other random move. My point is here he can't take on e3 because I have this intermediate check. Queen takes, c takes d7 check, winning a piece. And this position, even though I'm a pawn down with the king in the center and these open files around it, my position looks pretty pleasant to me. I'm not sure if knight d5 is best. Rook d5, intending to take here, looked fairly tempting as well. But knight d5 and rook a1, this construction should collapse eventually, I would say. It's also hard for him to activate any pieces. This pawn on b4 is a magician controlling the c5 square. Black really does not have a whole lot of options. Can I go rook a7? It's a bit showy maybe. I'll just put all my rooks here. Oh, I had knight e7 check. You know, the funny thing is, or it's not that funny, that I thought about rook a7, bishop takes a7, knight e7 check with the fork, but then I thought my queen was hanging. So I thought, nah, I can't do that. But I should do it now. Thanks for the game, oscarshales. Yeah, I'm not sure where this went wrong. This is a complicated line. I'm sure I covered it in my Vienna video series, but I do not recall any details. These positions were fine for black, but pretty complex. Thanks for the game, sir or ma'am. I don't know. Now I'm just thinking of a witty tweet I can construct with hindsight is 20/20. Hindsight sucks. That's the premise. But I need some meat on that tweet bone. Let's play kbanov or kbanov. Are you there? kbanov from Canada. e4, alright. I'm still a one-trick pony. e5. Watch my chessable course where I give my whole repertoire for black in e4, e5. The problem is, now you have all these people like Greg Shahadi running around out there, playing my repertoire, doing great, because they memorize it, while I forgot everything that I gave in that course. So now I am much worse prepared than Greg Shahadi, even though he only uses my preparation. It feels very, very wrong. And I have no idea how to rectify that. Of course I could take my own course, but that also feels wrong. So I think we'll just stay like this. And once again, complaints about the sound. I apologize for it not being very loud. This has not been much of an issue until, let's play g5 just for fun, until a show ago when I'm not sure what happened. I didn't touch any settings. And I tried before the show, I played around with the mic settings. It's all maxed out and so on. And it's a pricey mic that you can see right in my face. But yeah, sorry if it's not loud enough. I can see my little tool that it's not really going crazy with the volume levels, but I do not know. Alex Renrad 1 is saying, play with us, the mortal players under 1800. I have played at least 3 players under 1800 already, no? As mentioned, I do not discriminate by rating on this little program. How do I recapture here, knight or bishop? I guess bishop. Yeah, let's not get too crazy. as usual, there's the debate if the sound is okay or not. It's okay for some, not okay for others, which is not good enough. It should be fine for everybody. And yeah, I hope we'll get back to that beautiful state. But thanks a lot for your feedback, and good to hear. It's not bad for everyone. Still, something I keep hearing, and bothers me, as it should. So, alright, let's bother kbanov here. And checkmate him. He's really not very concerned about my activities on this side of the board. Maybe rightly so, but it does look a little scary, doesn't it? Not sure if bishop h3 was the best. No, after knight h4, I still need to find a way through. Queen d7 looks like a start, but then queen f3. Should have thought about this before, but I didn't, as usual. You know what? I take that move back. Not sure why. Now he can go knight df3. Might help his position, but I still have a feeling I'm in good shape. Probably could have won way more directly. What can you do? Try to keep things close here. I'm not sure. Rook takes a6 also had something to be said for, just because it saved some time and he can't get rid of this bishop as he does now. So yeah, I've misplayed this a little bit. Being generous with myself here. I'm so greedy. It's not a material position, Jan. Don't be a material girl. It's a checkmating position. Yeah, right. Do whatever makes you happy there, kbanov. Because in the end, material, not material, there's only one clock on the board. And that factor is one that I never forget about. Wow, pre-move? Did you pre-move queen b2? That's actually impressive. I want to go queen h4, but I'm not sure I can. Let's calculate. Check. More checks. Nah. Too risky. Sorry, I just have to flag you. Old school. Then you can say, but I had a winning position. I can say, yeah, but it didn't matter. Good game, kbanov. Japa Kapacha does say, you've got a very soothing voice. If my plans to become a German influencer don't work out, even though they should work out, I have this Rocket Beans show upcoming. Who's more destined to be a German influencer than me? That's right. No one. And anyway, if they don't work out, I have a feeling that I can switch to ASMR. Indeed. But it probably would be German ASMR. My voice is even more soothing in the beautiful rhythmic language. Is rhythmic a word? Sounds creepy. It's probably a word. Rhythmic language that is German. So basically, I think the English ship has sailed for me. I know it's sad, and I'll keep doing Banter Blitzes every now and then, because I miss you people. But I have a feeling the future will be German. Not the world's future. No worries, no worries. We have no intentions there. But my chess commentary feature. Ropilex is saying, Jan can work in the radio with his voice. Yeah, I've often been told that I have a face for radio. Not so often about the voice, though. Call me Icebox saying, German ASMR is like an oxymoron, LOL. I like it when you add the LOL to your comment to illustrate that it was humorous. Citymania saying every now and then, but once a year or so. Nah, we'll maintain a steady pace of 4 shows a year. No worries. Airknight here, big theoretician. How can I get you out of the book? Let's play the lines of my childhood. Bishop g4, knight a5, which used to be the absolute main line, but it has faded into almost oblivion in 2020, where everybody plays fancier lines. But this is what they used to do. Now bishop d3, cd, cd, bishop e6, d5. We used to analyze like there was no tomorrow. Bishop f7, I had tournament games. So there's all kinds of learnings that I acquired here around the year 2002 that are now completely useless. I remember I was in Hungary. I was staying at Grandmaster Peter Wells' house. Peter, if you're watching, greetings. I was playing a tournament. I did horribly in that tournament. But Peter showed me all kinds of exciting ideas in this bishop e6 d5 line. And I used it pretty successfully. I think he was working on a book about it back then for quite a while. So thank you, Peter Wells. Tarek DC is saying, any surprises coming in the top 18 players list? I don't think it will be surprises in terms of names, like the names. Let's face it, it's not too surprising who the remaining 18 are. But I think there will be surprises in the order. In particular, one I expect quite some backlash on. And the problem is, I'm not sure if the backlash is maybe right. I think our reasoning is defendable, but I am very worried about all the potential trouble it could get us in. Batman is asking, so d5 is good for white? No, it's equal, but it's a very dangerous practical weapon. And as mentioned, I was talking about 2002, 2003. Back then, computers were weaker, so you could have a lot of fun analyzing such sharp positions. And in my hands, in my powerful hands, in that time span, it was a great weapon. As for the position, Airknight is fighting well. He should be slightly worse now, I guess, because his pawn structure isn't very safe. But I'm not quite sure what to do next. So a6, showing a lack of understanding. Let's make a waiting move, just so I don't have to worry about anything. Now I could take bishop d8, bishop d3. Does that get me anywhere? Why make it complicated? Why must I lose to this Bogues? Is saying, in compiling your 50 greatest list, any book of chess history you especially recommend? I have to admit, and I think I've been fairly open about this, that I'm reasonably clueless about chess history. I read all the Kasparov books, which, well, I think those are just great if you like chess history or not, for general chess education or whatever you want to call it. Peter, he's more of a student, although I don't think he would call himself a scholar of chess history either. But he knows some more things than I do, I would argue. And he also has this friend, Frank Hofmeister. Greetings to the EU Chess Club in Brussels, where I also went once, gave a similar, had a great time with the guys. And Hofmeister has been working on a book on chess history for, I think, quite some time. And he's been an advisor to the project, so to say. Or, no, that's not probably not true. But Peter asked him some stuff, I believe. He hasn't been an official advisor, or the list will probably be better. But you get the idea. He was very helpful with his knowledge. And I'm not sure I want to say anything. I don't want to tell any tales out of school. I think Peter had seen a manuscript of the book Hofmeister was working on, maybe, that he was praising. I should hurry up a little here. But generally, no, we used the online ratings. We obviously looked at who was world champion, who was number one for what span of time, at people's records, and so on. We very clearly by the list also valued very highly how far he would get in the world championship circle. And then very often it's also just a guessing game, or, well, question of judgment. What do you value higher, like longer stretches of dominance against maybe weaker or less opposition in that time, the peak strength of players, their longevity, there are so many factors going into that. It's, of course, not an exact science. And I'm not even claiming that I or we got anything right, but I do claim that I enjoyed it and I learned quite some things from it, because I've never really thought about it, and I've always argued, and I would actually still argue that that's sort of stupid to compare players across different eras, because of course the new generation is always standing on the shoulders of giants that came before them. So to be objective there, it's very hard, and you can of course make the argument that modern players are underrated on the list because they face more opposition, or you could make the argument they're overrated. You can argue many things, and I do not know, but it was fun. Basically, and I'm honest about this, I struggle with these things because I want to be liked by everyone. I understand this is not what my persona comes across, but I'm always comes across as, at least, but I'm very non-confrontational. Well, I don't think Peter has that problem. Peter enjoys debating things and arguing his position. Well, I'm always, when someone disagrees with me, and obviously people will disagree plenty with that ranking, as you would with any ranking, I would think, oh my God, he might not like me. He does not share every single opinion that I have, which is not a healthy way to live your life. But that's a different topic. But yeah, therefore, I think Peter was much more suited to that project. But I'm glad that we did it, because I learned some stuff. What's going on here? He's giving me a pawn. I'll take the pawn. I'm not a complex man. Queen f6. Let's bring the bishop out. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna end badly for old King Log. You know, chess can look so simple when your pieces get out. You can crush people. Crookie 1974 is saying those lists are clickbait category, useless and repetitive with endless pointless discussions. Yeah, that was basically what I was saying, but now see, even that point, that it's useless and repetitive, I feel like you disagree with us doing the list in the first place, and I already feel under attack. See, it's so hard to do anything. That's why it's much easier to never do anything, and then people can't disagree with you on anything. It's a great way to live your life. Anyway, thanks for the game, old King Log. I had this little trick. This knight f3, gf, bishop e3. Picking up the queen. GM is saying, should one play many openings like Magnus, or should one play less openings but be more prepared? That's another eternal question. I would argue Magnus hasn't played that many openings recently, no? Like he's played this c5 knight c6 a lot for 2018, 2019. Yeah, recently against e4 he's been a little more flexible with white. Okay, I guess he's flexible, but he's played quite some d4, c4 there. I don't know. My approach has generally been that I try to be flexible with white because I think surprise value is first of all very important with white. If you always play the same line, people will neutralize it. And secondly, you can hit much harder with the surprise value with white. Because even if it says 0-0, or if it's equal, you can still catch people off guard and put a lot of pressure, which you can't do by surprising with black that much. And with black, I've usually just tried to have one or ideally two openings that I knew pretty well, so that I could keep going to and repairing if they needed repairs. But yeah, I think it's individual. I think the trend has gone a little more into the direction of play more openings, be more flexible, partly also because there's such a lot more information out there. There are all the chessable courses, Chess24 videos, engines are much stronger, so you can pick up a line very, very quickly that you would need a lot of time checking and preparing. Even 20 years ago. So it's easier to learn openings, but generally I think my approach still makes some sense to be as flexible as you can with white and be sort of stable with black. Batman 2017 is saying, why not playing any 2300 rating player, Jan? Let me guess what your rating is, Batman 2017. Is it in the 2300 range just by coincidence? Maybe not. Anyway, looks like WageGM is not there. Oh, I was gonna end the show. But here we are. End the show. No, end. Abort the game is what I'm trying to say. Tombas is saying, do you advise to play classical openings at every level? I think so. Like, you don't have to be too boring, and I don't think you need to play the Italian just because it's easier to learn as your first opening or at every level. But I do think that it makes sense to play good openings. If it's the Najdorf or whatever, the Berlin or the Marshall against e4 or the Sveshnikov, I don't think it matters too much. But personally, I think I lost too much time messing around playing e4, g6, for example, when I was 15, 16. And it served me well. I'm not sure it was bad results-wise, even though it might have been. But you just don't improve as a player if that's your goal, because you're limiting yourself to a very small set of structures and positions very often if you play sidelines. So while you think that you're getting people out of book and playing on your own terms, the price you pay long term, in my opinion, is pretty high. And you don't pay that price if you play a main opening, whatever, the Najdorf e4, e5, knight c6, where you can get tons of different structures, or even the Caro-Kann, you can get a lot of different structures that will help you on your journey. So I think it makes sense to play different openings, even on your way up, or as a relatively fresh player, also to learn different structures. But I do think that it makes sense to, try to play, I don't know if classical or main lines or what the right word is, but not to play what I did. Don't play e4, g6 every game or the Philidor every game just because you think that's a quick fix and I don't have the time to spend on openings. Even if you don't have any time, you will. If your goal is to improve long term, you will do much better playing mainstream openings. Crookie 1974 is saying, why not playing with those who never played with you before? That's what I'm doing. I always give preference to people that I have never played before, like WageGM. Thanks for the feedback, Crookie. Here I try to keep the king in the center with bishop d6, and after bishop f8. I went bishop e5. He's trying to castle. I do not want to repeat moves endlessly, so I'll just continue with my queenside plans while he's getting his king out of the way. Tombas saying, thanks for your advice. I just turned 60. Time for the Briar and QGD Tartakova. Oof, those do sound boring and passive. But yeah, they sound like decent openings. Wouldn't be on the top of my list, but I think they do meet the criteria. And queen c6 meets my criteria of moves that give me a queen. Sorry, WayGM. a5 was a bit much. He should have, I don't know, takes and castle, and of course black is much worse, but the game continues at a5 and trying to keep the structure. Who knows? GMI is saying, I play Taimanov and Khan. Is that enough or should I learn more? I think it's enough for now, but long term, yeah, if you want to improve, switch it up at some point. Maybe move to the Najdorf. That'd be a natural progression. Or of course, I'm biased because I'm an e4 e5 guy. Add e4 e5 to the mix. I also had a phase of playing Taimanov and Khan. That was after my e4 g6 phase. When I was like 17, 18. I played a lot of Taimanov and Khan. And it's still somewhat limiting because you keep getting the same positions, which I understand is comforting, but yeah, once again, for improvement, you need to expose yourself to different structures. So yeah, I would probably either move on from the Taimanov and Khan or try to add the Marshall or the Najdorf or the Sveshnikov. One of the big ones on the way. Let's play Tom Bass. Fixitney is saying, Jan, how can I start liking online chess? I want to play chess again, but there are no tournaments here. I hear you. Like, I'm not desperate to play chess, but I do miss going places. And even though I think online chess is great, and I'm very much looking forward to the Champions Chess Tour, the new version of the Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour. And I hope it will be a lot of fun. I do miss the warmth of human interaction. And yeah, I hear you. This is a system that I've played quite a bit. Bishop f5 and queen d7, just intending to play bishop to h3. As we know, I struggle pronouncing h3, and I've gotten some rough reviews for my Chessable course saying, yeah, great repertoire, deep analysis, many great novelties, but he cannot pronounce h3. So let's give 1.5 points discount. And I still haven't improved. Another reason why I started doing more things in German. I'm great at saying H3. Fluent. Not an issue. H3, on the other hand, it's rough. Tom Bass is going for aggression on the queen side, as is typical for these types of positions. And I always struggle, although I've played them quite a bit, but it's very non-trivial for me as to how to handle these things. CBAB D5 is sometimes a topic, but I feel it's not a topic yet. Also, where the rooks should go, it's a big question. These positions, frankly, they're above my chess understanding, and I admire people that can handle such things well, especially with black. I think black is perfectly fine, but it's really, really hard to understand for me what goes where here. e5, I guess I should centralize now. Knight d8 looks a bit passive, and you don't want to give white this free roll a4, a5 plan. Well, knight d4. We either exchange the knight or not. Wisdom. e3, I guess I'll take rook here. At least hint at d5, so he knows he can't just play a4, a5 in peace. If knight d5, I'll probably sidestep, go knight e8, and then plan to play e6, d5 again, because I want to keep a bit of tension in the position. Here we are. Could go bishop c3 and queen d5, but nah, that looks a little silly. Yeah, still complex. What can I say? a5 doesn't really kill me. That's the good news. I was wondering where I should put this knight. If it should go knight c7, knight e6, or what the most natural square for it is, but this looks sensible to me. One day I'll start thinking about grabbing some more space with d4, probably now, because after d4, knight e4, I would have pawn to f5. Chasing the knight around. f5, knight g5. Takes. Not clear how much better I am there. I'm fine, obviously, but it's not clear how much it is. Also, I'm not really giving him a choice, which is usually not ideal. You want to give them a chance to fail. But I did not. And that's what got us here. Alright. Yeah, I'm not really better. Just takes king f3, king e2. White is quite solid, actually. Well played, sir. It's a weird move. Trying to scare him away from king e2 when I might or might not have bishop d4 or rook d4 or something. But a little pointless it is. Yeah. It's not easy. Rook d4, rook c4. Does that get me anywhere? Not really. What can you do? I'll keep fishing. Chipping away. Waiting for an opening. And I don't mean a chess opening. I mean some play. Bishop d2. It's an odd move. Wondering if bishop e3 I can take or not. I can just go bishop takes e3, sorry. So he probably has to go bishop e1, but now this construction is starting to look a little funny, doesn't it? Rook d2, I have rook takes e1, b5 is hanging, rook e2 is coming. So the going got a little tough, and as usual, if the position gets bad, the moves also get harder to make, and rook takes e1 wins a piece. So Tom Bass resigns. Complex fight. Wow, we have a grandmaster. Grandmaster Pikuru from Cuba. Mr. Pikuru, are you there? There he is. Starts the game with 1c4. Good move. I'll bring the horsey out. See what he wants to do. He also wants to bring the horsey out. What do I want to do? e5? It looks correct, no? It looks so correct to play e5. Grab space in the center. It's hard to resist. e4. Can I recall details in these lines? Probably not. This bishop c5, knight takes e5 business. It's hard to recall anything ever, so I'll play bishop b4. Like a chicken. Is this all theory? I guess it's all theory. Pikuru knows his stuff. Knight a4. Blitzed out. I have no clue. Bishop g4 or not? Looks logical too, doesn't it? Thinking. Takes. b4 is hanging, so he should go bishop b2 or bishop e3 as he does. One question is, can't I take here? Queen f3, I have knight b4, so he has to go gf. I thought this looked okay. Like, I'm never sure about these positions with two knights versus two bishops, but in general this looks okay, as long as I can get a bit of control over these dark squares. It should be fine. We'll find out, but for now it does look playable to me. Wondering if after rook g1 I can go queen h4, or if bishop g5 concerns me. Queen h2, rook g2, queen h1. Looks a bit funky. Well, what can you do? He plays d4, also logical. I guess I won't take, even though that looked doable too. Queen f6. Feels like it keeps control, and I think I like it. I should probably go d5, de, de. I'm not sure it helps white's position. I got rook d8 now with tempo if I want to. I'll just castle and then play rook d8. Actually, the one rook on a8 is doing well enough. So no, this looks like a tough position for Pikuru. He's probably going to play some funky move like queen c1, hoping for rook d8, bishop g5. But I have a bunch of options, just knight d4 for example. No, it's hard to give good advice here. I don't just think white's position is bad. And even if I had good advice, obviously, I wouldn't give it. h4, once again hinting at bishop g5, but I'm not gonna blunder that yet. So, knight d4, bishop g5, knight f3. So don't really need to get too cute. I can just go h6 and stop it for once. For now. h7 or h8? I don't know. So far so good. So the next order of business should probably be, is f4 a threat? Hard to believe. Nah, something's gonna drop somewhere. Should probably be to occupy these dark squares. Also knight b3 is an issue. So you have to take, but this square still has my knight's name written all over it. c5, I guess I'll just ignore it. You can open more files if that makes you happy, Pikuru. Not sure why I pre-moved cb, queen b6 might have been a move too. But overall, My knight is just so much stronger than this bishop that my position is still very tempting. Is he losing on time, or is this some 3+2 game? Oh no, there's extra time coming in. Queen c3. Alright, let's put the rooks to the middle. One day we're gonna need some tactics, but not yet maybe. Queen d6, Queen c7, rook d1 for example. Let's keep it simple. Takes, all right. So we're entering a new phase of our relationship. Now the name of the game is let's convert my extra exchange. Does look doable. And Picour resigns because he was gonna get mated next move. Yeah, that went well for me. What can I say? I think something went wrong in the opening for him when he had to recapture here with the pawn. The structure it looks very unpleasant for white. Anyway, thanks for the game. I'll play one more and then I will probably surf Netflix for half an hour, then surf Amazon Prime for half an hour, then maybe, just maybe, I'll spend a little time on TV Now, which is a German service that I pay for to deliver me trash TV. And then I will probably conclude, didn't find anything. Let's go to bed. That's the plan. Let's play Turk. F5, so aggressive. We're getting a good old, I don't even know what's called, random Dutch. Knight e4, there are many options. Now you can take, or you can just ignore it. I do think I recall that this was one of the ways for white to be better. I'm sure there are others. It is the Dutch after all. Claim a little space in the center. Yeah, it's already fairly unpleasant position. For black, I would argue. King is just weaker. My pieces have it a little easier to ease their way into the game. E5, can you do that? Interesting move. Not sure if CD is the best reaction. I could also just, or I could have taken on E5 and then CD, grabbing a pawn, which would be my typical way to handle things, but I did not want to let his pieces out. For once. And yeah, thanks for pointing out the sound issues. I'll try to get it fixed. ASAP. Until our next Banter Blitz in June 2021, I think it will be very loud. Rookie 8. Can I already go for the kill? Nah, I'll just do young things. Move the pieces somewhere. Hope for the best. E5. Queen somewhere looks winning too. Now let's play E5. Sidimania is saying, do you think COVID will be over by the time your next Banter Blitz happens? I do not think so. Sorry. I don't mean to cause any panic, but I don't think COVID will be over before my next Banter Blitz. Let's take some pieces. Those are pieces. More pieces. And Turk has seen enough, as you guys probably have. So let's come to our favorite segment of the show. Apologies for doing shows in English so rarely, but I do think there's more shows than ever in English on Chess24. And you guys are in great hands, so I can continue pursuing my goals, which is to become a sneaker influencer in the German language. Hopefully my buddy will help me to get me to Instagram fame. I still have a long way to go there, but I shall pursue it with great apps. I would also like to apologize for the sound. I understand it's fine in some places, not fine in others. This is not the standard we're going for. We want it to be fine in most places, so that shall be worked on. Then I want to apologize that, I haven't been doing opening clinics forever. I still have a season to finish for many months now, and it's getting more and more embarrassing. The longer that I do not do it, I want to apologize for that too. I promise I'll finish it before the end of this year. Oof, now I have to do it. Woodstock37 saying, I like your sneakers. Which ones? Thank you. And thanks to you guys for watching. I hope you're having, how was I gonna say, a good time, given the circumstances we're all living in. I'll be back tomorrow with a show in German because, gotta stick with the program. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Until then, bye. Buy my Chessable course. Chessable.com/Jan. It's very good. Except for the H3. The H3 is pretty weak. It sounds like A3. Bye.